Welcome. I'd like to call the March 31st, 2026 Somersworth School Board meeting to order. Can I have a roll call?
Maggie Larson.
Here.
Carrie Clark. Marsha Brown.
Here.
Bridget Jameson.
Here.
Kirsten Gowdy.
Here.
Carly Prescott.
Excused.
Sarah O'Brien Hart. Crystal D. St. Croix.
Here.
Patrick Knevy.
Okay. And if our Somersworth athletes in the audience can start the pledge with us and stand whenever you're ready. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Welcome, big crew. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. We're starting this evening with some special recognitions. Superintendent Shea, should we introduce?
Thank you. Steve, I think
Steve?
Steve's going to run it.
He's going to do it.
Our athletic director, Steve Hodson, is going to take it from here, and we're
Wonderful.
going to focus on cheer and track and field. Thanks, Steve.
Good evening, and thank you for having us tonight. I usually do a quick update of how the winter seasons went, and then we'll go into the recognitions. For middle school, we offer 2 winter sports, boys and girls basketball. Boys team, we had great numbers, had about 30 players try out, split them into varsity and JV. They both had very successful seasons. The kids had fun. They got better along the way, won a few games here and there, but I think overall they had a good time. Girls basketball, we had 19 girls try out. We had 2 teams, varsity and JV. The JV was a lot of brand new players, and they did a great job learning skills, increasing their basketball IQ. The varsity middle school team increased their win total from 4 wins last year to 10 wins this year. They had a tremendous season, and they ended up in their end of the year tournament. They lost in the semifinals to the team that ended up winning it. So they had a very successful season as well. And we're very excited to have all those kids coming up to the high school in a few years. For high school, had some mixed bag of success, but the kids showed resilience along the way. Had some really positive things happen during the season. Our boys basketball team had great numbers. We had about 35 kids try out. We ended up splitting kids in 3 levels so that we have varsity, junior varsity, and freshmen. They played a lot of competitive games this year, and they were in the playoff hunt until the very end. Coach Gregoire did a great job with them. They ended up missing the playoffs by 1 game at the end, but they had a successful season. Girls basketball, they started the season with pretty low numbers. Since COVID, that's really kind of hit a lot of our girls' sports. They haven't come back, bounced back from the COVID numbers. We ended the season with 8 players, and that was 1 team only, no JV team. The girls started out and had a little bit of struggle at the beginning, but they increased their skill definitely as the season went on, and by the end of the year, they were playing much more competitive games, and those 8 players did a great job and represented Somersworth very well, and very proud of that program. Our indoor track team, coached by Mr. Smith, had about 13 to 15 boys and 2 girls, and they had a number of athletes qualify for the state meet and the New England meet, and we'll talk about one of them a little bit later, but we had some very successful athletes. With our girls team only had 2 girls represented in the state meet, and they both placed, and they did a great job. Ice hockey, we have 5 ice hockey players from our program. We co-op with Co-Brown. Co-Brown has 13 players. We have 5. We tend to have about 5 to 6 players on the team every year now. Kids did great. They ended up this season participating in the Final Four, losing to the eventual champion, Spalding. Played their hearts out in that game. Our goalie had like 45 saves. It was amazing. Our kids represented us well. It was a very successful season overall for Coach Strum and those kids. Winter Cheer had the most successful season in a very long time. We're going to talk about them in a few minutes. And I can probably actually, right after I talk about this, we'll bring them up. But, really stepped up their game this year, and they ended up coming in 4th place in Division 3. But there's different levels, and so they actually placed 3rd in the all-girls division in Division 3, which then allowed them to represent Somersworth in the New England meet down in Connecticut, and they did Connecticut? Massachusetts, that was close. Massachusetts, Worcester State. And they did an amazing job. They came in 12th place in New England for small schools, which is the highest Somersworth has ever placed there. Coach Rideout did an amazing job with those girls. So that is all the update I have for numbers. As you see, we have a mixed bag of numbers. We have some of our sports are very well off with a lot of kids playing, and some of our sports are pretty low participation numbers. I feel like the girls' sports, we're really pushing to try to get some of the girls back into it that have left. So we're working on that pretty hard. But without further ado, we'd like to call up the cheer squad and Coach Rideout.
Hey. So, hi, welcome. I'm such a fan, and I'm so glad you all came. This is pretty incredible. For the first time ever, this group made it to New England's. And not only that, as like their cred, I think that part of all of this is kind of like there's some magic in this group that I've witnessed for a while. And I think it's just a testament to Somersworth. So I'm so proud. I hope you feel supported and you've felt supported along the way. I'm like beaming because I just think that you're such a wonderful group of athletes and students and people, and you have an amazing coach. So I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but I knew Coach Rideout when she was your age. And I'm fine. I've known Lizzie since you were in high school. And watching you build this, I'm in awe. You have had a guidance with such dedication, love, perseverance, and your impact on these young athletes go far beyond the mat. I've seen that you're not just coaching a sport, you're shaping lives, building confidence, and setting an example for us all. So, Coach Rideout, this is a testament to your abilities, your love, your dedication, your compassion for all of you, and to everyone on the squad. I don't know if we're missing anyone. You represented Somersworth with grace, confidence, and an unstoppable spirit. You get it? Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Any other board member? Member Brown, of course.
Can I say a few words? Because when I've been volunteering coaching track and trying to occupy the same space that they're trying to do their practice in, I have observed very hardworking, which we all acknowledge. You know, you don't get to New England's without hard work, but just the courteousness and just the politeness of the students that are in Somersworth and this squad. I just want to do that shout out that I'm so proud of how just nice students you are. And thank you very, very much. Just very proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else? No? Good? All right. Well, I don't know if anyone wants to say any words. No pressure. You are on 4K, and you will always be on YouTube to say anything, but just about your experience, if anyone wants to say anything.
Can I ask another question?
Sure.
I want to know how old our squad is, because I know a couple of, some of you have been practicing for a couple of years. Are any graduating?
We have one graduate. She couldn't be here tonight. So one senior graduating. We actually had 2 foreign exchange students on our team this year. Yeah. We have Martina, who's here. Marty is from Italy, and she has never cheered before. She was doing artistic gymnastics in Italy and joined us. And then another girl who's on our team who couldn't be here tonight, Reno, she is from Japan and actually lives with Marty here with her host family, and she had never cheered before this year either. She was a dancer. So they totally, fully immersed themselves and crushed it. Like, who can do that? They can do it. They did awesome. So we unfortunately are losing them as well. So it's kind of like 3 seniors, but otherwise we have, I think, 4 juniors, 2 sophomores, and 3 freshmen on this winter team. So a mid-range team. They're marvelous. They make my job very easy. I've coached a lot of teams for a lot of years, and
I appreciate everything you have said. I will say that it's not always this easy. This group of kids is extremely hardworking. Like you said, they are extremely polite. They're coachable. They take care of each other and they hold each other accountable like I've never seen a group of kids do before. So they definitely are they are the puzzle pieces holding this group together. They should be so proud of themselves. I'm so proud of them. I can't even believe the amount of success we had this year. Last year, we went to states for the first time in 15 years, and this year we did it again and went to New England's. And when I was in high school, I went to New England's one time, and for this to happen, that was a huge deal, and it still is a huge deal. So I can't wait to keep doing this with these incredibly hardworking girls and just see how far we can go, because we're just at the beginning right now. So feeling really, really blessed and happy to be here, and thankful to our boosters who's just totally support us all the time, and our parents and you guys. So thank you very much.
Thank you. We are so proud of you. Somersworth is so proud of you. I'm going to come down from here because this isn't like a natural space. I'm going to congratulate you really quick so we can move on. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, Maggie. This is our honorary member, Maggie Larson.
You guys are the best. No favorites. I don't do this with football. Okay, you guys can sit, and then you'll leave after this because we have one more. Thank you. Thank you. So appreciate you.
Yes, absolutely, extremely proud of the cheer squad. Our next person that we'd like to recognize tonight is Noah Wondall. Noah Wondall was a member of our indoor track team, and also his coach, Dan Smith. So if you guys could both come on up here. So Dan is what I know I'm old, but Dan is actually one of my old track athletes. I coached him back in the day, and I roped him into coaching indoor track this year for the first time. He did an amazing job coaching the middle school soccer team. The kids absolutely took to him, and I told him that that's exactly what the indoor track team needs, and that's how the program's going to grow. Marcia has always done a great job. She couldn't commit to it this year. So Dan stepped in and really did an amazing job. And Noah's PR for the high jump, PR is your personal record, last season in outdoor track was 5'3", which is okay. That was nice of me. He worked hard this year, and Dan really took to him. And once the season ended, I think Dan ended up coaching Noah for almost a month, just Noah, because the season ended. They had their state meet. After those meets, you have to keep qualifying and moving on. We did have a couple other people qualify, but Noah ended up qualifying and participating in the Adidas Indoor Nationals down in Virginia. And he PR'd at the state meet in high jump. He jumped 6 feet. And it was amazing because we hadn't even ever practiced it with him that high, because it was like, wow, that's high. And then he ended up clearing 6 feet at the state meet. Yeah. And then he went down to the nationals in the emerging elite category, and he ended up PRing again and jumping 6'2" and almost getting 6'4", and coming in third in the emerging elite category down at the Adidas Nationals. I tease Noah because you get these fancy backpacks and all the trackers. So that's why he really went down there, was to get the backpack. Yeah. But he worked his butt off this year. He had an amazing year, and he's only a junior. And Coach Smith did an amazing job in his first year as the track coach. And you saw just the amount of time and effort and care that he also put into it in his first season doing it. So Noah.
Wow. Woo! Hi.
Hi.
How you feel?
I feel great. I'm really thankful for the opportunities that Somersworth has been able to give me, especially Coach Dan for sticking with me throughout the entire season and helping me accomplish a lot of new things.
That's wonderful. You have made such tremendous progress. I hope you also feel supported, and like this community is in awe and so proud of you. This is an achievement, like to see, if anyone's witnessing this now, to see a coach stick with someone for over a month, one-on-one, and then you go to nationals. That's incredible. And from 5'3" to 6'2",
6'2".
that progress. We talk about progress in like academic a lot, and it's really meaningful for that to happen, and it doesn't come from anywhere. And I've watched you, and I think it's just a testament to your spirit, to your athleticism, and to who you are, and to your coach, and maybe some other things too. But congrats, Noah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone? Coach Brown? Oh.
It's really an honor to be recognized here alongside Noah. For a lot of the time, I felt like I was just watching him try to do backflips, because that's how we spent a majority of those practices for those months. And I really just wanted him to have fun and to keep pushing the limits. And high jump is something where the metaphor of setting the bar higher is very, very literal. And he kept setting the bar higher for himself. And when I received a text from Mr. Hodson the weekend he competed, I was driving home from Dover and I was like screaming out my window, because it was just, I was imagining the moment he must have had down there. So it's really an honor to be a part of it all, and thank you guys for being here to recognize it. And thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep.
I am not going to let this opportunity go without doing a shout out for the commitment coaching. I mean, we have Steve Hodgson, who finds hook or by crook coverage of coaches, and Dan, what a amazing coach you are. And it's tough to have a program with a small school with not much of a budget and not much of a equipment budget, but then we produce athletes like this with the dedication of coaches who even do the hills with the squad.
Yep.
I can attest to that.
I will not be doing the hills this spring.
Yes.
And I keep praising our teachers and our administrative staff, but I don't want to overlook our coaching staff. We have amazing coaches too that attract to this community, and I'm grateful. Thank you so much for your time, and again, congratulations to an excellent season and an excellent season. And you're only a junior. Noah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
And if everyone can stand up one more last time, because we're going to let you go. And if everyone can just show our appreciation for our athletes tonight. Thank you. Woo! Noah, Dan, come on up. I'm going to shake your hand. Come on up. It's just me.
And we get one more year. One more year. Coach.
Got it.
Congratulations, Noah.
Congratulations, officially. Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you all. We'll see you.
Thank you. That's all I have. Thank you.
Aw. Good stuff. Oh, that's the good stuff. All right. So proud of everyone. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. That's incredible. We'll move along to our public comment. If there's any public comment today, be happy to hear you. Come up to the microphone, state your name and where you live, and be happy to hear you out. Okay, and I'm not seeing any. You'll have another opportunity at the end of the meeting. The consent calendar this evening. What's the wish of the board to adopt the consent calendar as presented?
I make a motion to adopt the consent calendar as presented in our packet.
Great. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion about any items here? The minutes. Are we adopting the retirements, or will?
On retirement,
That we have to do
I'm
later.
recommending
Okay.
you could adopt as part of the consent calendar, and I can explain it. Recommendation that we accept it.
Okay. We'll do. I guess we'll let everyone know. I don't know if officially we'll put it out there after. So, all right. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you. All right. No student representative report, but we have our city council update potentially. Councilor Austin, we haven't had a meeting. Thank you.
Oh, I don't know how I follow all of that, but congratulations to all of those students athletes. Our next city council meeting is Monday, April 6th, and that's a really important meeting for all of us in the community as well as all of us here this evening. We will be taking the budget off the table and discussing that openly, and at least in theory, it could pass on Monday evening. So there will be our normal public comments opportunities before we do that. So if anybody wishes to comment on the budget, you certainly are welcome to come to the meeting on Monday evening at 7 o'clock here at City Hall and make your comments known. We have received a lot of feedback on social media about things people would like to see, and it's been actually a pretty informative discussion, as opposed to some discussions on social media that are not quite so informative. We've gotten some pretty good feedback, so I thank the public for doing that. We finished our workshops last night and had various groups from the city, from the school, and last night from the community come and make their requests known to the council. And so those are behind us. So the budget will, again, come up for discussion on Monday evening. Also on the agenda, I believe, will be a first reading for a supplemental appropriation that we discussed at our workshop with the school board, as well as, I believe, a second reading on the open enrollment resolution that the school board requested the city council to consider. So some pretty important items on our agenda for Monday evening. So that's really all I have tonight. Thank you.
Wonderful. And I think I can speak for the board, and please interrupt me, but I think our joint workshop went very well. Thank you for everyone's time and effort and perspective, and the support for the school care supplemental appropriation is just well received. It's a tough it was a tough bill to receive this year, but with the collaboration and discussion and with our kind of fiscal management this year, I think we can get there. So we really appreciate council's perspective and support of that. So thank you. All right, full BA report. Katie, thank you.
Yep. The report's in your packet. We're continuing to trend in a positive direction. As of this report, we had approximately $94,000 in savings, which was increased from $60,000 in my last report. The majority of the savings came from releasing encumbered salaries and benefits for paraprofessionals that we have for open positions, reducing encumbrances for contracted paras, so we don't pay if they don't come to work on a certain day, so we release those funds every month. And then I reduced some substitute salary lines that haven't been spent, so I reduced those down. As of this report, we had 6 open paraprofessional positions, and then we also had 2 additional resignations at Idlehurst. So at this point, we had 8. I don't know if we're still there or not, but we had 8 open positions. We are monitoring 2 changes to special education for a possible out-of-district placement and some additional services for some move-ins. So that will change the $94,000 savings. It could change it, but I'll keep you updated in my next report. In terms of revenue, I did do a projection through the end of the year to see where we might come in with our revenue. And at this time, I'm looking at we might have a possible unanticipated revenue of about $87,000. We got some more money for indirect costs, preschool tuition, and CTC tuition, both from the local Tri-City region and the state aid as well. I am keeping an eye on Medicaid revenue. That's an area where we haven't seen as much come in as we expected. I did reach out to our provider to find out if we were going to be receiving what I budgeted. He's doing an update to the system, and he said in the next few weeks he could give me a better idea of where we might come in. If we don't meet where we budgeted for Medicaid, the $87,000 unanticipated will cover the difference. But if it does, then we'll have $87,000 of unanticipated revenue that will be returned to the city at the end of the year. So I'll keep you updated on that front. And then today I did receive an email from the state with our final adequacy payment for the current year, and we are going to be receiving $11,812 more than anticipated. They did a refresh they found some additional free and reduced lunch students for direct certification, so we're getting an additional $11,000, so that'll add to that as well. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions, insights? All right. turning it over to you, Superintendent Shea.
I'll stick to the things I have listed on the agenda just because we have a couple of big presentations this evening. But I'll start with budget just to follow up with Katie. To reiterate, the $94,000 currently that we're running in the good is not a lot of money at this time of the year. I just want to stress that. It would be about $320,000 if we hadn't put if we hadn't paid off a third of the school care assessment in the fall. Working in collaboration with the City Council, an agreement on that to not pay any interest charges. So the short of it is we're running in the right direction. The adequacy addition is helpful, but we're still really, really tight at this point in the school year. As Councilor Austin mentioned, Monday, April 6th, I just want to reiterate, 7 p.m. at City Hall. I don't believe the hearings start at 6 p.m., but everything will start at 7. If you're interested in listening or speaking up concisely, respectfully, whatever your views, at that public hearing, you're encouraged to do so. Our school district proposed budget for the coming school year, 26-27, is about $2.2 million higher than the tax cap compliant budget. So to get from our proposed budget to the tax cap compliant budget is approximately $2.2 million in cuts. As Councilor Austin referred, it looked like there'll be a supplemental appropriation possibly in April to help us with the school care assessment. So that's a $450,000 bite out of that $2.2 million. But again, that's a $450,000 bite out of $2.2 million. So we still have some difficult navigating in front of us in terms of the budget. It's good that we're running the right way this year. So please, and as Councilor Austin alluded, possibility the budget might get wrapped up on April 6th. Otherwise, it would go to April 20th. But I encourage folks to speak up. If you have questions, as folks often do, you can reach out to us. We're happy to inform you on precisely where things stand and let you draw your own opinions. Police, fire, municipal, and taxpayers of Somersworth are all significant parties in this process, not just the schools, goes without saying. That's it for budget. I'll keep my legislative updates to one topic and one topic only. There are numerous bills before the House related to adequacy, related to overturning the Claremont decision, related to special education funding, literally hundreds at a time. The one I'll just ask us all to focus on right now is open enrollment. And there's two pieces to this. The state is currently passing or in the process of legislating and passing a new open enrollment law, which likely wouldn't, it changes day to day, but the latest version of it looks like it would not take effect until the school year after the coming one. And the state is recognizing that an open enrollment program that really penalizes or unfairly has local tax dollars, local taxpayer dollars following kids out of a community does not make sense. And they're trying to figure out a way that the state would carry the burden. I think almost all of us agree that a parent should get to pick where their son or daughter or kids go to school. And I think we would all probably agree that however that gets paid for should be done fairly and justly, and that's the mechanics that we're working through right now. So that continues to play out. In the meantime, the second part of this that's important, and there'll be a hearing on April 6th, it may be overshadowed by the budget discussions, but want to remind folks that in the meantime, Somersworth is proposing that we declare ourselves an open enrollment district consistent with current state law, and consistent with current state law, like a lot of other school districts in the state have done, cap exiting students at 0%. If you're wondering why there would be an open enrollment law that allows you to cap exiting students at 0, nobody knows the answer to that. But that's how it was written about 15 years ago. And we're also going to cap incoming students to whatever degree is to the maximum possible under current state law, just as a signal that we're not interested in participating in this as so many other districts have done. And this simply covers us until the new state law kicks in, which could be in a week, or it could be in a year, or it might never happen. So that's why the April 6th hearing is important. The resolution went from the school board to the city council. The public will have an opportunity to speak up and ask questions on April 6th. And then I believe it'll be at the next council meeting when the resolution will be passed. And not till July 1 of this year, 2026, would the resolution take effect. And again, that would just keep us protected until such time that the new state law comes in and effectively trumps this one. Councilor Austin and
Yeah, if I could just correct something, if it's a second reading on April 6th, we'll be voting that night on that resolution
Got it.
after the public hearing.
thank you.
Is it up for second read on the 6th? I'm just have to reference the last meeting. I don't know if it's the first or second, so.
I'm recalling that the legislation for a resolution like this required that the hearing be held outside of 15 days, but no more than 30 days
That's
for
right,
the
so
vote, so it'll be
the-
further out.
Will be
yeah.
the 20th, thank you.
Sure.
Mentioned tomorrow. So tomorrow on House Bill 101 at 10 o'clock at Granite Place is when they're discussing, and you can have testimony on open enrollment. Yeah, O'Brien Hart.
I was going to say, I was just looking at this, so you can go and give testimony, but you can also sign into the website and oppose or support, depending on what you feel like, but,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Yep.
just a website.
Right. It was 4 hours the first, and we're anticipating more tomorrow. So, yeah, any other questions about that? Just want to let everyone know. It's at Granite Place in Concord, and you can go in person, go online, or send it in to have it be read, or just kind of look at the new proposed amendment and kind of look through that.
Got a couple more. Strategic priorities and plans. We can take this off of, we won't need to address it under unfinished business 8.1. The 8.5-page draft has remained there for the last few meetings. We are in the process of tightening that up, and I've said it before, but I think we're a meeting away from being able to put it formally and tighter with roles and responsibilities before the board. But quickly, a couple things. The strategic priorities and plans have been basically rolling out over the last year and a half. We want to formalize some elements of it. A couple key pieces of that: the Mayor's Commission on Reimagining and Redesigning the Somersworth School District will have its first kickoff meeting next Thursday. This 15-member commission is essentially charged with overseeing what probably could best be thought of as Plan B. As we continue to work hard at improving this district in many ways, we're going to have this group kind of looking at much more radical ideas in terms of structure, in terms of innovation, all with the assumption of not spending more money, but using the resources we currently have to kind of rethink much of what we have going on in the district. And the goal, something like this, is typically 3 years. We want to aggressively do a 8 to 12 month by this time next year and next spring. Really have some plans in place, so if necessary, parts of those can be deployed quickly. And then parallel to all that, the Plan A work, which is curriculum, instruction, assessment, teaching and learning, iReady, putting a math curriculum in place, doing better on professional development, rethinking some of our approaches to assessment, all is happening day to day. I just want to highlight a couple things. The creatively and helpfully named Prenatal through High School Graduation Committee to consider enrichment efforts and wraparound services for students around health and mental well-being and educational enrichment. We'll figure out a name for this, yes, is beginning work. We're imagining that will potentially be co-chaired or tri-chair, potentially by our school board chair, potentially by our new incoming Idlehurst Elementary School principal, and maybe a community member as well. But that work will be beginning soon as part of the Plan A work. The Great Schools Partnership and Nellie Mae Education Foundation we are working with. We are already signed up to be getting support and assistance at no cost, particularly with the Plan A type work, but some of this may ripple into the Commission and Plan B. And 30 communities in New England, so this will be competitive. 30 communities in New England will receive upwards of $500,000 in grants beginning in the fall. So those are the kinds of grants we want to continue to work towards. The surveys, the short, simple surveys that we talked about as part of measuring the 4 key performance measures, and the second one being climate and culture, we'd initially hoped that we would roll this out in the fall. There'll be fall, spring surveys. Fall was rushed, but that will be rolling out in May. And then the last thing I'll highlight from the strategic priorities and plans is that all three of our unions, SACA, which is predominantly our paraeducators, SAE, our teachers, but also other professional staff, certified staff included in it, and CESPA, our custodial and facilities group, will all be in negotiations next fall. Our hope is 3-year, multi-year collective bargaining agreements for all. And we have begun the study circle work with the teachers union, just having good conversation about issues so that we have more productive negotiations in the fall and can think a little bigger. It's sort of like trying to rebuild a house, when you're already, in it. You got to back up a little bit and kind of get away from just painting and moving furniture around to kind of thinking about some fundamental things that might require some redesign to the benefit of all involved. So that work has begun. The searches, just quickly, we have an assistant principal search underway at Idlehurst Elementary School that has gone very well. Close to 20 applicants. Interviews are happening right now, and we have some folks that are rising to the top of that list. The position is vacant, of course, because our current assistant principal, effective July 1, will be the principal at Idlehurst Elementary. The principal search at Somersworth High School has just begun. We already have 5 applications in. We anticipate quite a few more. We have a good committee in place. We'll be meeting again tomorrow afternoon and Thursday afternoon. And board member Kenevi is part of that group. Director of Student Services, this is probably going to be our toughest search, is also underway. I do not believe we are going to get a proven rock star in this position, but what we're looking for is an up-and-coming, soon-to-be rock star that chooses Somersworth, and we'll see where we end up. And of course, the Idlehurst principal search was completed a couple months ago with Kate Gove taking that position. And then lastly, it's the calendar items. So spring break coming up at the end of April. The week of April 27th. The week we come back is Teacher Appreciation Week, the week of May 4th. The district showcase, which everybody is invited to, parents from all the schools and community members and others, is on Thursday, May 21st at 6 p.m. at Idlehurst. There'll be more reminders about that coming. At the school board meeting on Tuesday, May 26th, we will recognize our retirees. That is always a very special night. Friday, June 5th is graduation, 6 p.m., our first ever graduation at the New England Sports Hub, the Dome, 6 p.m. on Friday, June 5th. And it looks like the last day of school really will be Wednesday, June 17th. Even another snow day or two would not shake us loose from Wednesday, June 17th. A 3-foot blizzard on a Monday afternoon might be a problem, but otherwise we'll be okay. And the only other matter is that it looks like First Student and the Teamsters have reached a tentative agreement, so we will not be losing our bus drivers before the end of the school year, we hope. And that's it.
Good. Thank you. I'll say this publicly, but Snow Day Shay has made its way into the words of the students. So we won't. I don't know if it's going to stick unless there's another snow day. Okay. Yeah. No. Full snow days. All right. Thank you. Any questions about anything? I think the only thing I'll ask, and I'll ask out, is that it's such a busy time towards the end of the year. If I can ask administrators and the superintendent anything that's going on for events that for the public or that school board members can come to, if you can just let John know, and so we just kind of get everything on one list. Just because it's kind of hard. It would be nice to go to things. Kindergarten registration is Thursday, and some of us will be there this Thursday at 5:30. That's it. Yeah. All right, committee updates. I believe we have policy. Do we have anything else other than policy? Board Member Brown, is there just a quick policy update from yesterday? We have 2 first reads today, but
We had a meeting yesterday, and I don't have my list of what we approved for sending to first reading with me at the moment.
oh, that's all right. Yeah. Take a minute.
My apologies.
All right. I think we had, are there a couple policies coming for first read down the line or changes?
Yes,
Yep.
there are.
Okay.
There are.
Okay.
And I just realized that I don't think our March 10th policies have made it into first
Oh, right.
reading also.
All right.
So sorry.
That's okay. We can,
They'll
we
be
can,
at the next meeting.
we will have, yep, at our next
we'll have
meeting
6.
on
At the next meeting.
the, I believe on the 7th here, it said this April 6th, so Tuesday, April 7th at 6 PM. We have a special school board meeting, and if we do have those policies ready by then, we can kind of make a note for those. All right, we'll move right along to our presentation this evening.
I just
go
found
ahead.
it. It was policies that will coming for first reading will be GDF, hiring of non-certified personnel, GBK, staff concerns and complaints, GBKR, which goes with GBK, staff concerns and complaint, and it's a grievance process.
Okay.
And then GCCAD, which is leave for uniformed service members and their spouses, which was a statute that was passed. So it was a wholesale change to the policy to reflect the statute.
Okay, good to know. All right, we'll kind of put this forward for April, and then I don't believe there's too many urgent policies coming down the pipeline. Anything that we need to pay attention to that was elevated at the policy meeting? Board Member Gowdy or Brown?
No,
Okay.
not really. I mean, it's
Sure.
the legislation. That's where the action is, not the policy
Right.
side. It's the legislation, and
And if they've passed the legislation and it's a law in the state federally, it supersedes our policy, obviously. So it's nice to be up to date, but it supersedes our updating of our 1,000 policies that we have. So it's just good to know if it's really important or apropos to something happening now. Right, we have a presentation this evening. We can start with that.
Maplewood Elementary School is our presentation this evening, and it looks like our principal, Devin McNally, and assistant principal Louise White are going to kick us off and/or do it.
Mr. Lamperon, you can begin timing. Time you back there. My name's Devin McNally. What? I told Jimmy 45 minutes. 30. Sorry, guys. Just kidding. My name's Devin McNally. I'm the principal at Maplewood Elementary School.
I'm Louise White. I'm the assistant principal. I have a cold. I apologize. It's not my fault.
So the unofficial motto at Maplewood is, "It's all good."
At Maplewood.
It's a nice, calm response for the kids. Our presentation today is really about community and all the things that go into building a community in a school. And I have to say, it's not just our school, it's all 4 of our buildings that put in tons of effort into how we build community. And it is really the foundation of our success. And I think you guys recognize that, and you guys also are part of that building of community. I think it's really important for folks at home and for everybody to see just some of the things that go into that. As a principal, my main focus is truly to build a community caring around our kids, where our kids realize they are cared for, where kids care for the school, where kids care for each other. And there are a lot of things that go into that. We have a lot of events, from Project Linus. Our 4th grade, makes blankets for kids who need them in different emergency situations. Lots of presentations, our veterans breakfast. We have Hilly, which I don't know if we even have any pictures of somewhere. We have a mascot. We have a little mascot that makes its way to each classroom throughout the year. One classroom gets it for a whole week. Sometimes it becomes a little bit of an elf on the shelf for those classrooms, which is kind of an interesting thing. And so I have to say that we do a lot of things in all of our buildings with the hope that we'll see some results in our data. And so hopefully next year we'll be looking at this type of data at this board level across the district. And I wanted to introduce it a little bit for you, in that this is the triangle. Some of you are familiar with what that is. Some may not. This is a picture of a whole school. How kind of healthy is the school? The green represents kids that have received 0 or 1 major referrals. The yellow represents kids who've received 2 to 5 major referrals, and the red represents kids who've received more. This is Maplewood at this point in the year. That green only goes down, right? Like, so we're currently at 90. Hopefully we'll be at the 85, above 85 by the end of the year. But we're really targeting, we'd like to be 80 or above. We're usually 90, truthfully, 85, 86, 87. And it's a really great testament that most of our kids are really towing the line, following expectations, and doing a great job. And so then going from here, we move into the daily behavior. And so this sort of looks, what does it look like day to day? And the day to day is really how many referrals are we processing, how many things are happening each day. And this month by month is a 3-year look back at just Maplewood. And you can sometimes see some trends. You'll see how heavy the work is in the office, how many behaviors are happening. And to be clear, there is a difference between a processed office referral and an admin call, right? Like, we respond to many things throughout the day, but these are just simply office referrals that are proven disciplinary actions. So then we move into types of behavior. And it's interesting to look, for me, it's interesting as a little bit of a behavior data dork. It's really interesting to see how this chart looks different from school to school. And our hope is that we'll be able to show you all throughout the year this type of chart. And you'll see that physical aggression bar looks high at Maplewood. It looks high sometimes at Idlehurst as well. Developmentally, kids tend to end up with some physical aggression early on.
Would you mind just saying what the from right to left a little
Right
bit,
to
like
left.
the first?
Disruption is number one.
Okay,
So this is
thank
in
you.
order of most. Disrupting class, physical aggression, defiance, inappropriate language, disrespect, out of bounds, harassment. So like anything out of bounds and below is really like kind of a small thing in our school. And you'll see our different schools have sort of different top 3. And it really does follow developmental changes for our kids.
Do you want us to keep reading them? Do you want? So out of bounds, harassment, other, fighting, property damage, bullying, tech, theft.
And so the fourth indicator when we look at school discipline and the health of a school is really the major consequence. And so suspensions are what we report to the state. It's a part of our civil rights report. And this presentation of suspensions gives us sort of at a student level, what does that look like? And you may say, oh, Maplewood has 59 total events. But what that breaks down to is there's 10 unique kids with 1 suspension or in-school suspension, and 8 with 2 to 3, and 4 with 4 or more. And so it really does kind of highlight that most of our kids are really doing well. There may be a high, you may feel like 59, that's a lot. I mean, is it? I don't know. Anyway. What? I'm falling behind over here. Sorry, guys. So Louise is new to us at Maplewood as an assistant principal. I challenged her this year with, your job is community. Your job is creating this place where kids love to come. Not only is she the major disciplinarian, she handles 99% of all the office discipline referrals, but a big project for her is the joy that happens at Maplewood. So
one of the big things that I do is I plan and create our community days. And it's 50 minutes every Friday, either in the morning or the afternoon, and I try to come up with things that are outside of our ordinary curriculum. So I invite our community in, and it's been Mr. Shea, we've had Mayor Girding, ask the mayor anything. We've had ask SRO Tully anything. And we've had our firefighters come in, do safety plans. We've also done, as you can see, Ruby Bridges, growth mindset. It turns out our nurse, who's phenomenal, his first language was sign language, American Sign Language, so he did a lesson with them. And then we've had the brass quartet, Read Across America. We've done a sing-along, which was really kind of nice. And we have a talent show coming, and bike safety. We're having a game warden come in. I'm really excited about that. And we have something that happens every Friday. Hilly, you can see Hilly comes in. Hilly's the highlight pretty much of what we're doing. And we also feature our students of the week in our essential classes of the week. And that's really kind of the core of what we're doing, of celebrating our school community during that time. We also, guess what, word's out, Maplewood. There's something special happening there. And so I was contacted by Congressman Patrick people, and they asked if they could come do a congressional visit to make Valentine's Day cards with our 5th graders to bring to the Veterans Home.
Wow, was a prerequisite to match with him?
Yeah, it was match Congressman Day, and I won. So we had to guess what he would wear, and I'm a good guesser. So Devin lost. It turns out the Pappas, by the way, has some artistic skills. Just want to let you know, he can make a card. One of the things also that Devin said, bring the community in, and I reached out to our parents. And I thought, how do we get our parents engaged but not overwhelm them? So I asked them if they want to help decorate our Maplewood sign. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Mr. McNelly has some woodworking skills, and so some genuine skills. So he built the base around the Maplewood sign so that we could use that as a bit of a flower bed. The maintenance crew came in and filled it in for us so that we could use that to plant some flowers and use it for flower beds. And parents signed up and took a month to come in and decorate each month. And they come in on the weekend that's kind of in between, and we show up and it's been decorated. And we're waiting to see what April happens. I don't know if it's happening tonight or not. It could be. And I hope it's not a prank. See?
Family outreach has been a really big goal for us this year. And with the sign and with asking for more volunteers, we've introduced things this year like Maplewood Matters, which was a principal forum. One got snowed out, one happened. Love some more participation in that. We recently had a math night. We recently had a 2nd grade parent night, which was awesome. It was great to see a ton of 2nd grade families come. Our student leaders were there to answer questions. Our 3rd grade team was there to answer questions. And this year, I took a different tact with the school newsletter. It's previously kind of been a school newsletter with advertisements and kind of things. This year, I did a direct communication from me. It's been every 2 or 3 weeks, and I've gotten some nice feedback with the fact that people feel like they really do have the detailed information at their fingertips, and that's been really nice. And so another of our goals this year was leadership, not just staff leadership, but really we wanted to expand into student leadership. But we wanted to highlight first that our school runs really well around our staff leadership, around our community of leaders. We have an admin team that meets weekly. We really deal with sort of some of the tertiary, really sort of tough problems that kids are having. And then we have a staff leadership team that meets every other week, and they tackle all things Maplewood, right? Like they also are the folks who facilitate our universal target and instructional team in a design lab. And they do a ton of work around the school, and it really helps all of our efforts around kids. There's a lot of things that you see happening here, and they have a really big hand there.
The Universal team will take the data that you saw at the beginning of the slide presentation, and we'll see some things that the students need some help with. Beginning of the year, we noticed that there was some behavior issues happening in the cafeteria. Oh, sorry, me. There were some behavior issues happening in the cafeteria, and it was some basic things like just sitting in their seats appropriately and having appropriate volume, but also our students needed some help with table manners. And so I put together a presentation, and all of the kids at Maplewood know how to set a place. So if you have a Maplewooder, they can set a place. They also know what's appropriate throughout lunch. So we did a golden plates, and if the class, as they earned their golden plates, they got a fancy lunch. And so we've done also the rollouts for Kindness Week and other things. And right now, we are at golden recess. And so the kids have some expectations for their behavior at recess, and they're trying to earn some golden coins. And they're doing East versus West wing, and whichever wing ends up earning the most gold coins gets an extra recess. And I've told them if they earn 100% coins, they all get it. It's gonna happen, but we're hopeful.
Do they get the bobblehead
I don't
trophy?
know what that is. You're the one that.
We have a bobblehead trophy that says East versus West, and it's a hilly. It looks like a little cat. It's cute. So this is the first year Maplewood has had student leadership efforts in quite a while, and we had the idea to start with a principal of the day. It was kind of an easy, in some ways, it felt like an easy thing to do. Elect a kid, they get to be principal of the day. So.
One of the things I did, Devin said, can you get this started, principal of the day? And I reached out to our community and said, can we use the voting booths? And reaching out to Matt Girding, and he reached out with Public Works and got us the actual voting booths the day after the Somersworth election. So our students got to vote in actual voting booths. And Devin put together a ballot so that they actually went through the voting process. And what you see here in this picture is us checking them in like they would if they went to go actually vote. And Mr. McNally actually did the whole, say your name again, louder. So they had to go through the process like they would if they went to actually vote. And they elected Una Wormwood as their principal of the day.
They were adorable, but they also took it really seriously, and they were nervous when they came up to get their name checked, right? Like you check the voter roll, and they were whispering their names. And I was like, I can't hear you. Can you please pronounce your name clearly so I can hear it? And they did, and it was really great. And so our leadership team then talked about, okay, what about a group of kids that could meet regularly and be a student leadership team? So we have introduced the Principals Council. This group of kids had to submit a multi-page application, and they were voted on by the staff leadership team. So we have 9 kids who are currently representative. They're working on some playground stuff that they find to be really troublesome and working on some staff appreciation. And they're now all saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Well, not all of them. 3 of them come down and do the Pledge of Allegiance in the morning, and they've been really enjoying that. There was 4 of them that came to our second grade parent night, and they were so enthusiastic, so well-spoken, really wanted to answer questions. They make me laugh. They're all pretty wonderful. We also had a great opportunity around leadership from New Hampshire Civics to attend a taping of Kid Talks, which was an interview with a woman who, Marley Diaz, who wrote a book, was really outspoken about providing representative literature in education.
One school district and one school in the whole state that participated in that, and it was our kids from Maplewood.
Also, we will be having Una Wormwood Day. When are we doing that?
I think the first day after April break.
Where we will be having an extra recess because that's one of the things that she promised that she would do if she were principal of the day. So, campaign promise.
I might be absent. No.
Oh, thanks. And one of the beautiful things about Maplewood is it's really about the magic that happens in the classrooms, and it doesn't matter what day, what hour, what wing, what classroom. You will see amazing things happening in every single classroom. And so the teachers are amazing, the kids are amazing. And one of the things that I found outstanding, especially coming from classroom in high school where field trips were not a regular thing is they're always going on these amazing field trips, and they're using our community to go out and to get the kids' hands in what's happening, using UNH, going out all kinds of places, and the kids are coming back, and it all connects back to their curriculum, everything they're doing. If they're learning about Native Americans, they're learning about how dugout canoes were made. It doesn't matter what they're doing, they've got their hands in it, and they're really accessing our community around us to make that happen. It's all good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yay. All right. Any questions from the board? Anything? That seems
I'm just going to say thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
It's always great to hear.
All right. Bye-bye.
Oh, okay. Okay. Bye. No, thank you.
Did you have
Do you have a question?
No, I'll leave my question for later. It's all good.
at Maplewood?
No, I was just wondering like what literacy rates were in third grade, but we can talk about it later. And math.
That was
it
presented last
before.
week,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I just spoke with someone about that, and like the first thing would be kind of community and culture and parent outreach. So I'd love to see the progress in the future, because it seems like you're doing really amazing work that's going to lead to some solid data points in the future.
Hopefully.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, Devin.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank you.
Louise.
All right. Right, we have 2 policies for first reading. We have JLCF Wellness and IMDA Patriotic Exercises. Do I have a motion to read these by title only?
Can I make a motion to
Yes.
read these 2 policies by title only?
Yeah, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, Board Member Brown, first read, please.
First policy is JLCF, and the title is Wellness. Do you want me to do the second one, or are we going to vote on? Okay, all right. Okay. And the second policy at page 30 of your packet is IMDA, Patriotic Exercises.
All right, thank you. We will, if we can just get the policies for next board meeting, where they are in succession for first read. These will be the only second read at our next meeting. All right, so our unfinished business, Hilltopper strategic priorities, will just, it's in our packet, it's in the public. Our new business this evening is photocopier municipal lease contract. We have one section in our packet, and then we have a 2-sided paper here, if we can just upload that so we have reference in our agenda materials for both of these. And we're looking for approval for this contract, but briefly, if we can kind of
Yep.
go over, it's a lot of
Yeah, it's a lot
Thanks.
of
Yep.
information.
Lot of stuff, yep.
So when NewView took over as our IT company, they suggested we meet with SPC, or Specialized Purchasing Consultants. They are a cooperative bidding company that specializes in bidding for copiers and printers. So they service many districts in New Hampshire. They go out to bid multiple districts. I think there was about 14 that were included in this bid process that we were included in. We have not been out to bid for our copy machines in well over 10 years. So we thought it was a good time to take a look at this and see if we could lower some costs. So currently we have 3 fair market value leases for 21 copy machines. They're all staggered, so we've never been able to really get them on the same schedule. Fair market leases also have a higher interest rate than a municipal lease, which is what we would be going with. In order to clean up those staggered leases and get on one lease, we need to do it in a couple of phases. So right now, we have a current service agreement in place that locks us in, and we are not able to get out of it unless we buy out the entire remainder of the contract. So it's very costly. So SPC is suggesting that we do this in 2 phases so that we do not have to do those buyouts. So what we will do is In 2026, all the leases would be bought out for the current copy machines. However, we would retain the equipment for the leases where we have these service contracts in place so that we don't have to buy them out. Once the service contract runs out, then we would get the new machines in district. So by 2028, we would have all new copy machines in place. We would do a lease for 5 years. It has one annual payment. Right now, I'm making 3 payments to 3 different companies for monthly payments, so this would make it all one lease, one payment. Our service contracts would also go from, currently we have an average of 0.0545 cost per copy for black and a 0.4641 for color. The new contract comes with a much lower cost per copy. As you can see, it's 0.032 for black and 0.339 for color. So SPC received 4 bids on our behalf. The lowest qualified bidder was Toshiba Business Solutions. On the back side of the paper that I handed out, you can see the cost savings that we will have. Obviously, in year 1, we don't have a significant cost savings. It basically stays the same because of those having to keep those other service contracts. But by year 2, it drops from 106 to 94,000, which is a good savings. And then by the end of the lease, you can either decide to continue to lease again and get new machines, or you can keep no lease payment for the next 2 years and then do another lease. So we could have 2 years where you could see a significant savings if we didn't want to do another lease. The service contract includes all the consumables, toner and stuff, except for staples and paper. And again, it's one billing. It's just a much simpler process, and then it will lower our costs over time. So I put in the packet 2 motions that are required. We are looking for the board to approve it. I did go over this with the budget committee already at their meeting, so they've already seen all this information. The motions are included in the packet. They're specific and they have to be done that way for IRS regulations for a municipal lease. I understand this is a lot of information tonight, so if you want to wait till the April 7th, you can, but SPC would like to get this, in place. So if you want to suspend rules tonight, that would be great. If not, we do have another special meeting next week, so we could do it next week.
This is, can I have a motion to suspend rules so we can speak without a motion before?
Motion to suspend rules so we can speak without a motion.
Yeah, yes, without a motion specifically. Yes, the second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. And board member Jamison and Brown. Anyone else have a question over here? Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Oh gosh, I have to formulate them. Okay, Katie, these are going to be dumb questions. How does it work to have 2 years without a lease? What is that will we still have copiers? What does that mean?
Yes, you'd keep your existing copiers. So usually at the end of a 5-year lease, you could either do a new lease and get all new machines, or if the machines are still in good working order, you can go without a lease payment for 2 years. So you can see on the back page, years 6 and 7, the lease cost would go from $55,000 to $0 because you wouldn't have that lease anymore. You'd still have your machines. You just wouldn't have the lease payment. And then if the machines start to fade out and you need new ones, then you could re-up a lease in the next couple of years after that.
Okay, I think I had a second question, which is just would this change for next school year, with servicing and stuff? And I guess so, if so, my only concern is that could we do it before August 15th when all the teachers come in and are trying to print stuff?
So it would happen July 1, but again, we'd have to keep 16 existing machines because they have that service agreement in place, so those would stay. Then we would get 5 new machines, and then the other 16 would be new once that service contract runs out in 2028.
Board member Jamison, did you mean if we kind of expedited this, would it help expedite the process to be able to have copiers in place and everything? I don't think it's this year specifically for
I just as
educators
a staff
to
member have been in buildings and there's not printing.
Nothing will happen this current year. It won't happen
They'll
until
all stay
after
the
July
same.
1.
Perfect.
And who will be our service?
It'll be Toshiba Business Solutions.
Okay. Wonderful. Board member Brown? And then
I just
board
had a
member
follow-up when you said that in subsequent years, the prices will go down, and I didn't know if it was proprietary on how they're going down.
It's going down because the cost per copy for that service contract is much lower than what we're currently paying.
Great.
Okay. Yep.
Katie, you said at the beginning, how long ago are we on refreshes for machines? How long have they had the current set of machines?
How long have we had what?
The
You said at the
copiers?
beginning of this how many years we've had since we've done a refresh on machines. So
Oh,
what
it's
are
not that we haven't done a refresh. We haven't gone out to bid. We've just
Okay.
continued with the same company we've had for years. We haven't gone out to
Okay.
bid in well over 10 years.
Got it.
Okay. Any other questions? Yeah.
Okay, so stopping the lease on some of them, yes, and then,
So all the leases would be bought out. So the current leases we have would be paid off and bought out.
and then we
would
wait
keep,
for the other ones.
we'd have to keep 16 of the existing machines
Okay.
until the service contract runs out.
What happens, nope, answered it.
I think this is a good, from when we spoke in budget, it's a good, SPC coming in as being very helpful with this. Does that make sense? Is that fair?
Yeah, we get better pricing because it's a cooperative bidding procedure. So you're bidding with multiple districts within the state every time. So your costs typically are lower when you're bundling those services.
Yep. So it is a helpful, good thing, even though there's complication to this, but it is healthier, and in the long term, we will see savings.
And after this 5-year, process is done, it'll be a much cleaner process because you'll be able to just keep doing it without these being locked into those service contracts.
Wonderful.
So we're only keeping ones with service contracts,
Until the service contract runs out, and then we will get the new
but we don't
machines
have
in.
any that aren't covered.
Correct.
Yeah, we have
Okay,
to.
cool.
Yep. Okay.
Just, in case some, copy machines.
Okay. Yeah, Board Member Brown?
I have a follow-up. What is our threshold of dollar amount spending that triggers the RFP requirement, if you know?
Our policy, I believe, is anything over $10,000. We have to go at least do a competitive, doesn't always have to be a competitive bid process, but quotes and everything, but I believe our policy is 10,000.
Okay, thank you.
Does anyone have the very specific motions in front of them?
I do. I can read one.
I do, yeah. Yeah, Board Member Knievy, if you can start with the first motion. And I think that it looks like we're ready to kind of make these two and move it along.
All right. So I hereby move that the board approve the proposed tax exempt lease with MST Government Leasing LLC for the purpose of refinancing and funding photocopy equipment leases, including consultant fees and related costs of issuances of such leases in the amount not to exceed $251,055.49 and at an interest rate of 5.09% per year through August 1, 2030.
Do I have a second? Second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion about this? And these will be up. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Wonderful. All right, motion number 2.
All right. I hereby move that the board authorize the superintendent to execute and deliver the tax exempt lease with MST Government Leasing LLC on such terms and conditions discussed and provided to the board, and to execute, and deliver any such documents required to execute the contract with Specialized Purchasing Consultants, Inc.
And just a point of clarity, MST Government Leasing LLC,
That's what the leasing company will be,
that's the lease, like the leasing
for the
company.
lease payments, yes.
For lease payment. Okay, thank you. Just want to know who that. Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Say aye. Aye, wonderful. Thank you. Right. Upcoming meetings, City Council on the April 6th, 7 o'clock, City Hall. We'll be discussing the budget. All are welcome to speak. We'll be on the lookout for the agenda soon. Councilor Austin, I don't believe it's posted yet, but since it's only Tuesday, but later this week. And then Tuesday, April 7th, 6 p.m. This is a special school board meeting in anticipation of the budget being voted on. If not, we will let everyone know if that's not necessary. The Mayor's Commission on Reimagining, Redesigning Somersworth School District, the task force, can I say that still? Is that kind of the shortened? I'm not sure. Thursday, April 9th, 6 p.m. Thank you, Board Member Jameson and, Gowdy. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry. Board Member Gowdy and O'Brien Hart for stepping up. Thank you to everyone volunteering for kind of stepping up and being a part of these committees. And then April 21st, and then we're moving into public comments. Any public comments this evening? Be happy to hear you if you want to come on up and say whatever you wish to say. Name, ward, happy to hear you.
My name is Ethan Clark, Ward 1. I should probably just get a stamp for that for coming here more often. I want to thank again Superintendent Shea and Ms. Kraus. I've continued to ask questions through the process to become more familiar. And one thing I want to stress to all the folks at home, if you have questions, we have an amazing staff that is very transparent with the answers. And I just want to convey how appreciative I am of both of you and your work that you're doing behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see. So thank you very much for that. I brought it up in the city council meeting and I wanted to present it to this board as well. One item that kind of stood out for me when the mayor made the commission and created the task force, it kind of just, I don't know if it just rubbed me the wrong way, but we're looking for a different outcome with all the same people that are creating the budget and talking about the budget currently. So I had said at the council meeting, I just figured it would be fair to say it here. You hear that kind of old phrase, definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. And that's not a slight towards anyone on this board. But we have most of the people that the mayor listed are people that are already involved in the budget and in the school in some capacity. Last night I attended the workshop. We had an amazing amount of community members that come to this city every year and request donations. And I think Councilor Austin can attest that I left that meeting inspired by some of the work that we have right here in our own community. And I left last night so, again, inspired is the only word for it, for the amount that people do with so little. We have a $33 million budget and we still have talks about being underfunded. These people essentially are coming in, for lack of a better term, begging for a $2,500 donation, and you would think you gave them $1 million. I think those types of individuals would be an amazing asset for a task force or for a commission of that nature, because you want to talk about being underfunded, like they have everything that you're looking for and they've had to make something out of nothing. So I said it at the city council and I figured it would just be worth it to say it here. The second item that just kind of came to my head as I was thinking about all that, obviously Easter is approaching, and to all of the community members, I'm a local member at Tri-City Covenant Church. I know St. Ignatius Parish does a lot in our community as well, First Congregational Church on West High Street. For many of us, we've seen a huge increase in attendance and curiosity when it comes to young people and their faith. And Ms. Larson, as you can attest, mental health in our community, we see much better results with young people and young adults that have some type of influence of faith in their journey. They have lower depression rates, lower drug use rates. And for any of our community members or students, if you're curious about your faith or pursuing that, Easter is a great opportunity to celebrate the resurrection of Christ. And if you're curious about just entertaining your faith, you don't know where to start, Easter is where we see a lot of new faces. So I would encourage you to look up any of the parishes or churches because that can have a real positive effect, especially on young people. So thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, any other public comment this evening? Happy to hear you. Anything from the board? I do have something on my end, but I always like to give you guys the chance. So with our update with the budget and where we are and trying to be very responsible this year with our school care bill, we were looking at our school meal debt projection, and this year it's projected to be upwards of $60,000. That's the largest, if not double, where it's been. This is coming from the general fund. We do not usually budget for debt. It's kind of an outlier because we do not it's just unpaid lunch and breakfast balances. So this is money that we would have that would otherwise go back to the city, go to program services, resources, and everything that we truly need. And I kind of ran this by, but no student is ever going to be denied a meal, lunch in our district. However, this is really difficult to be able to handle when we're forcing our decisions budgetarily to cut programs, staff, classrooms, and allowing this debt to grow doesn't model accountability. And this is not the example that we want to set in our community. The $60,000 in unpaid lunch debt is extraordinary. So I want to ask the community to get in touch with our central office, and they will help you. It's respectful, it's confidential. If you need any help with payment plans, setting up free and reduced, these people really will talk to you on the phone, or you can come in. We're asking you to come together and kind of address this. And if you haven't filled out the applications, please do that. If you can go into my mealtime and pay any amount, please do that before the end of the year, because we do have to pay this bill to make it whole. On the other end, please consider, if you can, have your students pay for breakfast. That helps offset it, or if they're able to pay for more, that helps offset our bills. And starting with a meal, having a meal in the day is incredibly important, but we need to take care of each other. We need to step up and ask everyone, families, parents, guardians, to do their part, and please pay if you can, or if you need any help, please reach out, because this debt is getting it's unsustainable, and it's taking away from other things that we need it for. So that's my ask. So any questions for that? No. All right. Well, I do believe we have to go into non-public for 91A32C this evening quickly. Is that it from the board? Anything else? Okay. Can I have someone make a motion to go into non-public, please?
I'll make a motion to go into non-public pursuant to RSA 91A3, Roman 2.
All right.
Second.
Great. Can I have a thanks everyone for coming. Roll call, please.
Maggie Larson.
Yes.
Marsha Brown. Yes. Bridget Jameson. Kirsten Gowdy.
Yes.
Sarah Bryan Hart. Crystal D. St. Croix.
Oh, yeah.
Patrick Kneevy.